Two women were attacked by a man with a machete. News Channel 8's Wes Small files this report.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. Just to look at the crime blotter. And I have to tell you, we are out of October, which was the end of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, also Domestic Violence Awareness, but the domestic violence anyway continues. Sadly, we have two females that were attacked over the weekend on St. Croix with a machete. Yesterday afternoon around 4:30, we have a report that it was a domestic violence situation. Both women are victims of domestic violence. One is 65 years old, the other is 35. Both were assaulted in their home in Upper Love, St. Croix. The VIPD do have a 69-year-old man in custody this evening for that domestic violence attack. He's not been named yet, and he is at Juan Louis Hospital for an illness unrelated to that machete attack. The suspect will be charged as soon as he is released. Meanwhile, both women have received wounds to their hands and their arms in that attack. If you know anything about that, you should call 911 or you should call 778-2211, or you can always call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's a look at your Crime Blotter report for the weekend. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. We have more news for you after the break. Well, today is the day we celebrate D. Hamilton Jackson Day, or better known as Bull and Bread. Let's take a look at the celebrations from earlier today in Grove Place.
All hail the Virgin Islands, emerald of the sea, where beaches bright, where coral sand, and trade winds bless our native land. All hail the Virgin Islands, bathed in waters blue. We give our loyalty full to thee and pledge allegiance forever true.
It is indeed a pleasure to be here. This is a great day for all of us. And I just want to point out to all the youngsters here, our younger generation, that oftentimes we look on the outside of the Virgin Islands to seek our heroes and role models. And today we are celebrating the legacy, the life of one of our own, David Hamilton Jackson, a great man, a man that has sacrificed a lot for our freedom and for what we cherish today, freedom of the press. So once again, please, let's have a great day, let's be safe, and let's enjoy and celebrate his life and legacy.
Sometimes people look and say, well, today we're supposed to recognize the late D. Hamilton Jackson for what he has done. Some people will say, more people should have been here. But that's not an issue. Whether it was just 1, 2, 4 of us, the tradition will still be carried on by the Grove Place and the young adults of this Grove Place community. So don't worry about the crowd. We are here to recognize an individual who has done much for these Virgin Islands. If you look and read his bio and what he has accomplished, he was a man with vision. And one thing I like to say and I admire about him, he organized. He had a plan from the beginning to the end. And it was all done non-violently. Today, I firmly believe in freedom of speech. But you have individuals that will dwell on the negative. Dwell on the negative instead of trying to enhance our young students to grow and live their lives in a positive manner.
There's no doubt, or there should be no doubt in anyone's mind, after we have seen what took place today, that our young people are willing and ready and able to take over and build on this community and in fact address many of the issues that we need to address. When you listen to the articulation of Mr. Porter, as he outlines the future, or you listen to Ms. Isles address concerns of our community, it makes you realize more than anything else that we are grooming young people to accept the challenge that for many cases, many adults in our community are unwilling to accept. Today we celebrate a day of a man that last month made 125 years. In 8 years, we will celebrate the transfer of the Virgin Islands from Denmark to the United States. And the question that we have to ask ourselves as we contemplate and we think about it is, what have we accomplished, where are we going, and what we are doing? We can look back with pride to many things. We can look back in pride to our service in the United States Armed Forces. We can look with pride today that within the last month, over 103 Virgin Islanders as part of the National Guard have gone to Kosovo. We can look with pride that on this given day, that we had 78 Virgin Islanders of the National Guard that are on their way to Guantanamo Bay. And at Guantanamo Bay, they will be under the command of another Virgin Islander, General Lake. We can also look with pride that over the last couple of years, that since 1917 throughout history to today, from this territory of 4 islands, we have had and provided to the United States an ambassador for Trinidad and Tobago, an ambassador for Haiti, and an ambassador that's been with Argentina, Spain, and Venezuela. But the question we have to ask ourselves more than anything else is, what are we going to do in that next step? How are we going to turn the tide and quit and stop dealing with the negativism in our community and deal with the potential that we have?
Hold on, bread. Hold on, bread. Hold on. Hold on, bread. We know it. We know it. We know it.
Hi, how you doing?